Hi guys, welcome to a brand new episode of AB in the Films. Yeah, this is not me talking about films. This is me talking about music videos, I guess. Never thought I would do that on the show. No, it's not really about music videos. Okay, first of all, I haven't done an AB in the Films episode in, I think, since March. It's been a long time, guys. Long time. I've been working. I've been busy at work. I haven't done an AB in the Films episode, but I'm going to do one for you right now. You know, I've been listening to the CDs I got behind there, and you guys know what CDs they are up there, because I talked about them in an earlier episode. I actually forgot I had the Police Greatest Hits up there. And I was listening to it, and I forgot how great this band is for me. I know a lot of people probably don't like punk rock, they don't like the Police or whatever, but I do, and I thought it'd be interesting to talk a little bit about how I became a fan of this band. Considering I've talked about stuff like this on the show before, like I talked about how I became an Eagles fan with the Glenn Frey tribute, and also my top 25 favorite Genesis songs. I've talked about Genesis quite a bit on this show, because I'm a huge Genesis fan. But the Police is another band, that another 80s band, late 70s, early 80s band, that I really liked, or still like, but I thought it'd be interesting to talk to you about this band and how I became a fan. This started back in, I want to say, back when I was in high school. So this is about 9 years ago. This was like 2009, 2010. I was a junior in high school then. So this is, yeah, right around there. I was talking to a friend of mine who got me hooked on the Beatles, and we had been friends for years, ever since I was like maybe 10 years old. So we're about 17 here. And we started talking about the Police. And I said, well, you know, I've heard of the band. I kind of knew who Sting was, but I wasn't a Sting fan. And I never really got interested in their music. But I knew the song Roxanne. Roxanne, Roxanne, Roxanne. And I do like that song, but I didn't know any of the other songs. At least I didn't think I did. So right around the time, I think it was my junior prom, I remember, I went out and I bought the Police Greatest Hits. But I only bought that album. I didn't buy any of the studio albums, and I think I might, because they only made 5 studio albums. So that's not much. But I got the Greatest Hits from 1986. Every Breath You Take, the classics, the Greatest Hits album. So I got that, and I started listening to it, and the funny thing is, a lot of the songs that the Police have done, I did know these songs. I just didn't know the Police did them. Like, I had heard of Message in a Bottle. I mean, how many movie trailers have played Message in a Bottle? Too many, right? I had heard of Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. Like, the minute that came on, that song's been in so many movie trailers, of course. I didn't know it was the Police. And I definitely knew Every Breath You Take. I have heard that song on the radio. And also I knew, what was the other one? Don't Stand So Close to Me. I heard that song. But when I saw the music video for Don't Stand So Close to Me in 2010, I was a junior then, I really got interested in this band, and I started looking into Andy Summers and Stuart Copeland, who, you know, are the other 2 members, and I was interested in seeing, like, what else they had done in the group. But really what started this was not my friend telling me about the Police when I was a junior. It actually started when I was a sophomore. Because when I was a sophomore in high school, I was on the bus. I took the bus to get to my high school then, before I could drive. And our bus driver would play the radio on the bus. And there wasn't that many kids on the bus. There were maybe like 10 kids on the bus. But he would play the radio, and this one song came on, and I knew it was Sting singing, because I know Sting's voice, but I didn't know what song it was, and it turned out to be Fields of Gold. And I had never heard that song before, but I heard it, and I'm like, oh, this is a really good song. I like this song. What is this song? But that was the beginning of it. That's how it really started. And then about a year later, I got interested in the Police, and I started playing the greatest hits, and I gotta tell you guys, I love Can't Stand Losing You. I guess you call it cowardice, but I'm not prepared to go on like this. Invisible Sun, Spirits in the Material World. My senior year, I must have played King of Pain over and over and over again. Like, I think I might just end up buying the last 3 albums that they did. Zenyatta Mondatta, Ghost in the Machine, and Synchronicity. Because those 3 albums have a lot of songs, especially that were the hits, that I like. And there's a lot of songs on those 3 records that I probably haven't heard. Like, for example, I was listening to a little bit of Zenyatta Mondatta the other day, and I heard Canary in a Coal Mine for the first time, which is not on the greatest hits, but it's on Zenyatta Mondatta. And I'm listening to that, and I'm like, oh, this is a good song. This is really, really good. And, you know, it's interesting because, and I've learned this from listening to Genesis albums. I'm not comparing the Police with Genesis, but being that I just got interested in Genesis a couple of years ago, originally what I would have done is I would have bought the Greatest Hits album, and I would have just listened to that, and that would have been it. Which really isn't what I think you should do. I mean, it's a good stepping stone for, like, listening to a band's music. You know, you hear the Greatest Hits. But it's always good to buy the studio releases, because there's a lot of songs on the studio releases that you can listen to, but you wouldn't hear them on the radio, because the radio would never play them. And you could wind up loving a song that you never thought you would like. You know, like, for example, like, Ghost in the Machine has Invisible Sun on there, which I love. I love that song. But that was a hit. That was the greatest. That's on the Greatest Hits, by the way. But that's a really good song. I like that one. It's very dark. Why does Sting count in that song at the beginning? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Like, why does he count, like, at the beginning of the song? I don't know why. But yeah, that's a really, really good song. I like that song. The first 2 albums, Outlandos de Amor, I think it's called. There's a couple of songs on that one I like. I love So Lonely, which I love that one. Next to You, I think is a great opening track. And since that was their first album, that's technically their first opening track for the Police, and that's a good... I think that's as good as punk rock as you can get with that song. I always liked, of course, Roxanne is on there. Everybody knows Roxanne. Everybody knows that song.
Is das Hammond? Hammond! Hammond!
What was the second album called again? Yeah, that. I have a hard time remembering the name. Like, even Zenyatta Mondatta, which was their third album, I mean, I had a hard time pronouncing it. They had some weird title names. The only title names I could ever pronounce was Ghost in the Machine and Synchronicity, because that was... Okay, those are names. I don't know what the first 3 albums... They had, like, weird names. I couldn't pronounce them at first. But Message in a Bottle was on the second one. They had some good songs. They had a lot of good songs. And they also have a lot of good songs on there that I probably never would have heard of if I had just listened to the Greatest Hits. So why am I talking about the Police? This is a music tribute episode for AB and the Films. Well, the Police, unlike the Beatles, they never did any movies as a band. They never did. Led Zeppelin did a movie as a band. Did Genesis do a movie as a band? Well, they did Three Sides Live, I guess would count, because it's a concert film, but that counts. But anyway, I don't think the Police ever did a movie as a band. I don't think they did. I mean, they were only around... They weren't around for much. I mean, they were only around from 77 till... What was it, like 84? 1984? 1986 they got back together to do the Greatest Hits, but that didn't last long. I mean, like, they hate each other. You know, that's why they'll never reunite. They did have a reunion about 10, 11 years ago, but it's a shame I wasn't there to see it, because I would love to see them in concert, the three of them. I'd love to see them play. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just a huge fan of the Police, guys. I love that band. I'm not too crazy about punk rock, but I love 80s music a lot. I have for a long, long time, and the Police is definitely up there. If you guys want to know what my favorite songs are, pretty much the entire Police Greatest Hits album. Like, every song on that I love. I think the do-do-do-da-da-da gets a little annoying at times, but it's got a good riff to it. Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. You know, that song... See, here's the thing. I've been listening to that song for years, and I never knew the Police did that. Like, I remember, like, when I was playing the Greatest Hits CD for the first time when I bought it 8 years ago as a junior in high school, I'm listening to it, and when it came on... I was like, what? They did this song too? Like, I had no idea. So I was kind of surprised. I'm like, oh, wow, I guess I have been a fan. I just didn't know it, you know? Yeah, so... Yeah, I'm a huge Police fan. I have been for a long time. If you guys want to check out their music, they're really, really good. But chances are most of you have probably already heard of the Police music. And you've pretty much made up your mind whether or not you like them or not. I will say, though, I am a huge fan of Stuart Copeland. I do like the way he drums. King of Pain I can listen to over and over again. I love Andy Summers' solo on that song in the middle. I'm not too crazy about Sting as a singer. I like him. I wouldn't go out and buy his solo stuff. I do love Fields of Gold, though. I do like that as one of his solo songs. I also like Brand New Day. I think Brand New Day is a pretty good song. That was hysterical when Family Guy made fun of him with that song. That was the best.
And I promise you'll be able to understand all the words. Not like Sting, where you can only understand the last three.
But yeah, I'm a huge Police fan, and I love that band, and yeah, that's my little tribute on the Police. So you could call this a small tribute. You can call this, oh, this is all you had for us. You know, you couldn't talk about the new movies that are out in theaters. Guys, I have no interest in movies that are coming out right now, except maybe 1 or 2 of them, and I'll talk to you about them when they come out. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next review. So yeah, the Police are great. I love that band. And I will see you guys in the next review.